Hey skaters, I just got home from 9 hours at the ice rink and I'm way too tired to actually make a video for you guys today. I had something planned, but I'm on the couch and at this point I'm not getting off the couch anytime soon. It's been a long week. But I wanted to share with you guys some good news. At least I think it's good news. I finally got around to testing the first 6 of my ice dances. So I've known them for a very long time, years and years, but I never actually was able to make it to a test session because I usually had students testing and I don't like to do my own tests and my students' tests on the same day. So finally I thought, well, silly me, ever since the pandemic shut down, one of the clubs near me has offered virtual testing. And I'd never done that before. I've always done in-person US figure skating testing. So in case you don't know what virtual testing is, usually with a US figure skating test, it's done through your home club. So I'm a member of Capital City Figure Skating Club. They offer test sessions a certain number of times throughout the year. You pay for it online and you go in person and a panel of judges is sitting there. You go out onto the ice, you're usually the only one on the ice, and then you will demonstrate your test for them. They will score it right then, and that day you find out if you passed. You can read the judges' scores, you can see what all of their notes are for you, and all of that kind of thing. And that is what I've done all of my testing through. When I was from, back in the 90s when I was doing my original tests to a few more recent ones that I've done. So it's always been in person. And I kind of think that doing them in person is good because it forces you to push through that nervous feeling, and you learn to skate through all of that and succeed. So they started recently offering virtual testing through some clubs. My home club hasn't offered it, but there's a rink nearby and their club offers it. So what you do is there's a little bit of a procedure for it because you want to make sure that it's still fair. And so US Figure Skating has established some rules. So what has to happen is you have it filmed horizontally. At the beginning, it has to be time stamped so that you can see exactly the day and the time that this video was taken. It's not like, oh, it's a 3-year-old video I'm finally sending in. So time stamped at the beginning, and at that beginning you state your name, what test you're taking, and then you go and skate it, and you have to skate the whole thing with no cuts in the video. So if you're doing like a skating skills test that has 6 different patterns, it has to be filmed in one shot with no breaks or cuts in between. So you can't pause it and then come back and edit it together or anything. It has to be one pass, okay? And then you gotta try to keep it in frame. I think some of the later ones, we did a little bit of zooming in so you can see me a little bit better. The first ones, we didn't remember to do that, so I'm kind of small in my videos. One other thing with filming, it has to be done from a standstill. So whether your coach is filming or someone else is filming, they have to stand in one spot and they can move the camera around back and forth to film you, but they can't move. So they can't follow you around the rink and catch you the way we usually do with my videos. I have an amazing camera person who follows me really well, and you cannot do that for one of these tests. Excuse me. So they have to stand on the side in the center, like near the hockey boxes, right in the middle, so that they have a perfect view of the whole rink. But they can zoom as long as it's really smooth and steady, but they cannot follow you. And then once you've filmed it, there's a form you fill out. It's an affidavit, and it has all of your information. Your coach has to sign it. The person who filmed it has to sign it, and you have to have a witness, or they call it a proctor, someone who's also a member of US Figure Skating who saw the test taking place and can vouch for the fact that it was filmed all at one time and that it was filmed on the day that you said it was and all of that kind of stuff. So then what happens is you upload your video as a unlisted video to YouTube, and I went onto the website that the club nearby had designated, and I paid and signed up there, and then I sent them a link to my video and a PDF of that form that I filled out. So from there, their test chair sends it off to a panel of judges, and those are judges who US Figure Skating has sanctioned. So they've gone through all the, I mean, they could do in person. They've just elected to also offer virtual. So those judges are, you know, fully vouched for by US Figure Skating. Those judges will watch it all the way through and leave the same comments on the same form as if you were doing it in person. And then the test chair sends all that information back to you, and you find out if you passed or not. And it does take longer because you have to film it, submit it, they have to submit it to the judges have to look at it, submit the information back to you, and then you find out. So it isn't kind of that instant gratification like an in-person test. But for me, since I was having a difficult time finding a test session I could go to where I wasn't already having students, the idea that I could do it virtually was really, really helpful. I just really like to be able to either focus on my students or focus on myself and not have to switch back and forth. So I'm really excited to finally have gotten these tests taken. As I said, I've been doing these dances for decades, and to be able to finally get in there and test, it feels like, wow, I wish I had done this sooner. But at any rate, so I did my first 6. So that would be the preliminary, 3 preliminary dances and 3 pre-bronze dances. So preliminary would be Dutch waltz, rhythm blues, and canasta tango. And then pre-bronze would be swing dance, cha-cha, and fiesta tango. And I'm very happy to report I passed all 6, and I passed some of them with honors, which means that the judges thought I did an exceptional job, which is incredibly gratifying, especially as a coach. It's kind of nice to be like, yes, not only did I pass, but I passed well. So I know that the information I'm giving all of you guys and my students in person is on point, is accurate. So that's very, very exciting for me to have done that. And now I have a whole slew more dances because I think that now that I've gotten started down this path, I might as well get my gold dance medal. So hopefully in the coming year, you will see all the rest of my ice dances start popping up on YouTube, both my own tests and the tutorials, so you guys can learn it as well. Okay, so if you want to watch those videos, I will post a link to all 6 of my actual test videos down below. They've been uploaded to YouTube for a little while because I had to put them up for testing, so I'll make them available for all of you to watch and check it out. That way you can kind of see what the standard is like for if you wanted to test them yourself. All right, and give you an idea of what it would be like to do a virtual test. I would love to hear in the comments below how many of you guys have tried virtual testing and how many of you have done in person, and maybe which one you prefer. Do you have a preference between virtual testing and in-person testing? I'd love to hear that. I certainly love in-person testing, but virtual testing is super, super convenient. So they both have merits. I'd also love to hear from you what tests you're working on, either skating skills or free skate or ice dance. And if there's any specific dance tutorials you'd love to hear from me in the future, since I am going to be knocking out all of these ice dances virtually, I'm going to be doing a lot of ice dance filming. So if there's a certain dance that you really want to see me do a tutorial for, let me know in those comments down below. All right, so I'm sorry I did not have more energy to do a more thorough video for you today. I am genuinely wiped out from my week at the ice rink. It's just been super intense lately, but hopefully you guys can get some enjoyment from watching all of those ice dance tests. All right, happy skating. I'll see you guys sometime soon.